Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inspiring Educators. And once again, this is your host, Teacher Brian from the Philippines. And for this episode, okay, a year-end episode of Inspiring Educators. It's December, okay? And I would say I'm still lucky to have another inspiring educator. And right now, this educator is from the wonderful country of Turkey. Allow me to read her brief bio note in here. Okay, she is an ELT professional who has been teaching English to all age levels for about 22 years. Mind you, 22 years. She graduated from Ege University English Language and Literature Department in the year 2000. She has also another bachelor's degree on international relations and oh my, a master's degree on English language teaching. She is also a mind mapping, speed reading, and memory techniques instructor and an NLP practitioner as well. She focused on linguistics, neuroscience, and languages and has been conducting academic research on linguistics, CLT, mind mapping, and education. She also attended several webinars and international congresses as a presenter, focusing on her field, which is English language teaching education, linguistics, speed reading, and mind mapping. But this time, we're going to be hearing her personal side, okay? Because from the name of my show itself, Inspiring Educators, we wanted to hear inspirational message from this wonderful teacher from Turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's all welcome Teacher Tuba Gizilkan. Teacher, good afternoon from Turkey. How are you?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Brian, for this great, warm, welcoming message and introduction. I'm doing great. Usually I am having a high energy and I'm a very positive person and I really appreciate it. So I'm very happy to be a guest here on your podcast, Inspiring Educations, and I appreciate all your effort and contribution to meet inspiring educators with people and their colleagues. Thank you.
That's good to hear, teacher. And as early as now, I'm gonna be giving my warmest, welcome and also my sincerest, thank you for dropping by, being my year-end guest. Okay, this is a good time to end my year because usually I end it with, most of the listeners know that I end the year with one of the famous linguist, educational researcher, Dr. Stephen Krashen. But I decided to interview another teacher. Seeing Teacher Tuba in that session, I was inspired already. Okay, seeing her wonderful background, and luckily she said yes to my invitation. So me and my listeners, Teacher Tuba, are so excited to know more about you. Okay, you have a wonderful bio note in here, but if you would like to share something about you, who is Teacher Tuba?
Sure. Okay. I was born and raised in Izmir in Turkey, and since I was a very young child, I was always curious about learning things and discovering things, discovering nature, how things worked out, how the universe and everything was working. So I always did research on things and trying to make new connections. And I was very much into science and reading. Since I was like 6 years old, I read a lot, especially scientific stuff. And I was always trying to find answers within how the universe works and why am I here and how is this happening, how that is happening, what's the connection between these two things. And I always I used to solve puzzles and create new things. And Yeah, I was a kind of very creative child with an artistic talent and as well as a linguistic talent. And I remember myself drawing pictures and uh, listening and creating music, writing poems in different languages. So, um, from the moment I started learning English, I fell in love with languages. And I started writing articles and poems in German, English, and Turkish, and still write things. And not surprisingly, my bachelor's degree was on English language and literature, which fed my soul and my brain. And absolutely, it's a privilege to study English language and literature. Such a rich, such an insightful literature it is.
Wow,
And
it's interesting, sir. Hearing that you have wrote articles in different languages, I'm curious, teacher. How many languages do you know or you speak?
oh, actually, though I started learning Italian and Spanish, now I can say I'm advanced in English, sure, and as a second language German, because I started learning German since I was a high school student, and also I started a little bit Russian and Arabic because I'm really into learning new languages. So I'm so enthusiastic about learning languages. Really, it just widens your point of view. It
Mhm.
develops your intelligence and your lexicon, your point of view, because each language is unique in itself. So I really like just discovering this uniqueness within a language. And very lastly, I attended a training
Mm-hmm.
from my speech reading and mind mapping instructor, one of them. It was a comparative training both in Russian, Italian, and Chinese at the same time. So I like this comparative kind of studies, comparative approach, the multidisciplinary approach
Uh-huh.
of the disciplines and fields. I really love it. It's like a Da Vinci mind, right?
Yeah, that's really interesting. We're just down with the first question, but the ideas, the informations you're giving are already, me and my listeners are definitely, mind blown. See, you have a wonderful bio note. At the same time, you're trying to learn, or as I would say, you've already learned several languages that really suits your credential. And I would just
Mhm.
like to ask, was that the reason that you ended up as a teacher? Your love
Ah,
for,
mhm.
for knowing different things, your curiosity about something, was that the
Mhm.
reason that you ended up as a teacher?
Okay, actually, there's not a very simple explanation for a thing every time because I don't remember myself uh, to just dream to be a teacher when I grown up. No, I did not dream actually to be a teacher. So I wouldn't call myself I was born to be a teacher. Yet, what I know very well about myself is since I was very young, I really liked sharing and helping others to develop and sharing my knowledge with some other people. And also, I really loved inspiring people. I've never been a taker, but a giver, a sharer. So actually, this sharing is caring thing has always been within my soul. And I could be a translator, I could be a tourist guide or something else. But when I finished a bachelor's degree, um, I was late actually the flow of my life just led me to be a teacher. And oh my gosh, being a teacher just teaches a lot. So while you take the role of teaching a teacher, actually this is a very rich period in your life to learn a lot. You learn a lot from your students, you learn a lot from your colleagues, and many moments of your teaching career. So maybe a teacher is the lifelong learner. Really, I would call myself, if I had to call myself with a title, no matter in the future I will be a doctor or professor or whatever, but above all, I would call myself a lifelong learner and a truth seeker, because a very concrete characteristic of me is to connecting the dots, to see things in a holistic way. Because I think everything is connected, and education requires a multidisciplinary, a higher level of consciousness and point of view. So a great teacher will absolutely someone who could see the big picture as well as details.
Wow. I'm starting to become speechless right now, teacher, because it is, well, like you've said, you're trying to connect dots. And the questions that I've asked you are really connected from the time you've introduced yourself, okay, to the reason why did you fell in love, or why did you, because I don't usually say we ended up in this profession. Why did we choose this? Okay, I don't usually say why did you end up as a teacher, because like what you've said a while ago, being a teacher is a lifelong learner. So it's not the end yet, right? So I love how you've answered my first two questions, okay? And again, dear listeners, we're just getting started, but Teacher Tuba is already giving a very inspiring info, okay, about herself and about her journey. Now, teacher, let's go on with the next few questions, okay? So, after you've finished your bachelor's degree, I just wanted to know, why did you choose, this master's degree? Because you could either be, take master's degree in other fields, not just in language teaching. Okay, you could just master English itself. But why language teaching, teacher?
Okay, so as I emphasized, I always exceeded the boundaries. I was a thinking out of the box kind of thinker person. So I always expanded my boundaries. So because I know very well that the students are role models, the teachers. So my widened, my open-minded point of view with the information and knowledge of many fields, as well as particularly mine, just provide students insight, motivation, and inspiration for their future to be their best themselves, best version of themselves. Because mostly young students usually do not know what to do, what to be, and they're highly affected by their teachers. And like 9 years, yes, I've been recently working with young students, and the role of teacher means a lot to guide the students to be the best of themselves, and to decide the best thing for themselves, to be happy and to be fulfilled, and to feel content about their profession and their choice of life. So um, I never thought that, okay, I learned enough. This is enough. No, nothing, never. Never you would say that, okay, I learned enough, because there is not limitation of knowledge, and there are levels of knowledge. So that's why uh, you should expertise in one field, particular one field, but also you should go on learning new stuff, new skills, because we are teaching digital natives. It's called digital natives. So we are living in a digital era. We educators should consider we live in a different period. So nothing traditional help contributes to students. So we need to really update ourselves with new skills. We call them the 21st century skills. And the characters of digitalization, this era, requires a teacher to be updated and to be in harmony with some new skills. And that's what I'm doing. And actually, I started my second bachelor's degree 7 years ago, which is international relations.
Mhm.
It's totally another field. And during the pandemic, okay, actually, the pandemic period is quite a story of me that I always wanted to share. And thank you that this is probably the first time that I have been sharing this, because I usually presented academic ones in international congresses and conferences
Uh-huh.
and so on. But probably I've never shared the story, what I did in the pandemic, how I overcame with this period. Actually, I started my master's degree right after the pandemic started.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's where my next question will be going through. So perhaps, you could just give
Yeah,
it a personal touch, because my next question for you, teacher, is that how did you cope up? Okay.
sure.
In We know we're going back now into this what we call new normal, but actually for teachers it's just the normal situation, but for students they're calling this as, yeah, it's new normal, we're going to be using technology now, but for us it's just a normal thing. But
Mhm,
for my next question, teacher Tuba, how did you
mhm.
cope up to the, just I would not say the pandemic ended, but how did you cope up to that situation
Yeah,
personally as Tuba and as teacher Tuba? Would you like to share your story with us, please?
sure, very much. Thank you for this great question, Teacher Bryant. Um, well, I would like to say that I have a resilient mind. Since I was a child, I always just dared take the challenge with everything. So I was a fighter. I've always been a fighter, and actually, I clawed my way to the top. Yes, and um, of course, there are some stages. We are all human beings, and we have some particular psychological reactions to this. Big traumatic things, this kind of pandemic stuff. For example, of course, every person has the stages of this collective trauma thing. First, denies the denial, and then gets angry, blames people. You did this happened because of these people did something like that, and bargaining, and next a bit depression, and then accepting the situation, and finally, if a person can ever manage this, turning the threat into opportunity, um, to get benefit of this period. What happened with me was extraordinary, because only within a week, I was of course shocked at the very beginning, but my sixth sense is quite strong. Yes, because I just felt that, okay, something is wrong, because um we are trying to do things in a traditional way, but things are changing. The system is changing and people are resisting against it. So something is coming up, I felt kind of. And right the moment I started feeling like this, the pandemic just broke up. It's very interesting. And it was only maybe up to 1 week, 7 days maybe, that I was shocked and I did not know what to do. And the closures, the schools were closed up, and I felt a little bit panic. But it was only a week later I started to get up very early, just like I was going to work. I dressed up like I was going to work with my makeup and I bought lots of agendas. But I should emphasize that knowledge is power, because I just emphasized that I'm a big picture seeker. So if you are on the side, if you're just trying to understand things in a bigger picture, then you follow some certain kind of knowledge and you just start connecting the dots. Okay, the pandemic stuff has happened before and people have been through this kind of periods within the history, and the reason and result relations and things like that. So I searched a lot. I connected with people who had lots of knowledge about such stuff. I searched about the scientific background of this happening, and I read about being resilient. I've just attended many webinars, and within a week, I was like, okay, this is happening. What can you do? We started, teaching online. Everything shifted into something else. But kind of, I was expecting this. It might sound a bit weird, but this actually did not surprise me somehow. Maybe because of the, knowledge that I just searched about things, and I just adapted quite easily. Of course, at the very beginning, teaching online was not very easy, though I'm a digital person, so I'm very much familiar with digital things. But managing students and parents and their moods, trying to support students was not really very easy at the very beginning. But adaptation is a characteristic of human beings. So, and some of them can adapt more easily than others, and this is called the resilience. So as a resilient person, only a week later I accepted it. I stopped denying it. I stopped blaming people. I stopped ignoring people. I took very much care of myself. I woke up very early and did sports very regularly. I never ate too much, but that is a natural reaction to survive. As a survival, people just tend to eat a lot, but I just ate very healthily, did lots of sports, just went for a walk each day, and I did my best to feel better. And okay, actually, I'm sharing another thing that I had a terrible time because of my crazily noisy neighbor. So my challenge was doubled. I had to deal with my crazily noisy neighbor. That was the worst thing. We were under the lockdown, and you have a crazy neighbor who just made noise like 24 hours, 7 days, 24 hours. Yes, that was crazy. That was the most difficult part of this period. But in spite of all these struggles, all those things, I managed my second bachelor's degree and also started my master's degree and attended numerous new trainings, just which one of them is probably one of the best things I have ever had as a training that is mind mapping training, because suddenly after getting this training, I started creating many, mind maps. Actually, I created my mind maps for my master's degree, and uh, I became so passionate, so enthusiastic about creating mind maps, and I shared it with my lecturers, and they used them in their lectures actually. And also, I was invited to Bigger Plate, home of thousands of mind maps and webinars and trainings, and I was invited there. So I gained new skills, and I just scheduled all my day, a week, and even a month, maybe a couple of months. I just bought new agendas, and I planned even my hours. I just scheduled my day. I planned each day, so I never felt lost. I never got lost, and I also had time for just going into nature, because I'm really a person of nature, and I think nature is a great teacher also, and a great healer. Yeah, so those walks in nature contributed to me a lot, and I also focused on meditation, because what pandemic contributed people is we just started meeting ourselves. We just went into inner selves, because our focus is always outside, on other things, on events, on people, on happenings, on outside. We're always on a rush. But what happened after pandemic and during the pandemic was, oh, where am I going? What am I doing? And you suddenly are together with yourself. So this was maybe a bit scary for some people, because we were always on a rush and very busy with doing stuff.
Yeah.
But actually, before pandemic, I had I just attended meditation classes. So I was interested in the spiritual stuff because we also have this side. So during pandemic, I always had a space to embrace myself, my inner wisdom, my inner guidance. And so I think I had a healthy balance between those.
Definitely.
So and interestingly, it was a very productive period in my life, the pandemic stuff.
Well, that's what I'm about to say, dear teacher, because you not just build yourself emotionally, but like you've said, physically, you took care of yourself. You didn't do binge eating, because most people, if they face that kind of scenario, pandemic, what I'm gonna do? We're just gonna be staying at home. They're just gonna eat, do stuffs that, let's be honest. Lots of people become lazy because they're inside.
I know, most of my friends just did like this.
Yeah, but even your
this is very natural, as a reaction.
I would say that this is not the first time I heard this kind of story, but your progress, okay? When the pandemic started, you've said a few weeks you started to accept it. You build yourself, even if you're just at home. You woke up early, put on your makeup, look presentable, learn new things. Keep in mind that it's not only myself that needs to be well equipped, okay, but also my mind, the heart itself, the body itself. That's way how would I say this? I'm getting speechless, because that is the right coping, the right mechanism of a person in case we're facing problems. It's not we just set aside, feel all the negativity itself, but you build up yourself completely from A to Z.
Yeah, that's why I said I claw my way to the top. Always it happened like that because somehow I have this inner motivation and this will, this strength within my personality. I quickly describe and what's happening, but of course picking lots of correct information, not corrupted information. And what I do, another thing, which is also healthy, is you should never stop interacting with people.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Yeah,
Very
not
important.
isolating yourself, but I just reached to people who knew a lot about, who could knew about. I have some doctor friends and some trainers and some academicians and such stuff, and who were wise enough to analyze what was going on. So actually, I just settled what was going on in my mind, and I just accepted the situation. And you can develop the resilient mindset within yourself. And also, I even attended some webinars, trainings, developing some resilience within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also, what I did,
yeah,
that's why I was
great.
to do this kind of thing in this podcast, because a good friend of mine, okay, shout out to Armin Kazabian, okay, he is a good friend, a mentor who built our social and emotional side. Okay, I attended his social and emotional learning webinar, and from that, I
Great.
saw how beautiful this profession that I'm doing now as a teacher. And it's not just you are teaching, okay? We are also learning every day. When we started to go to the class up until we end the class itself, we are learners. Even if we're professionals, I would say you at your level, and you've already said it, lifelong learners. It doesn't stop up until you achieve. For example, you already have a bachelor's degree, but you gained your second, you have your master's degree, and who knows, you're going to be getting your PhD or your EDD.
Yeah, probably I will be doing it because I'm working on it.
Yeah, so oh my, this is really getting into the heart of our conversation. And mentioning that one, okay, how does Teacher Tuba inspire her learners? You know how to inspire yourself. You build up, like you said, you started from the bottom or from the scratch, you clawed up to the top where you are right now. But me and my listeners, teacher, would like to know, how do you inspire your students? You mentioned a while ago that you are a teacher of young learners. How young are your learners, teacher, if I may ask?
Yeah, actually, yeah, the age matters a lot. Even 1 year changes the way of perception of students, of course. And like 9 years, as I said before, I've been working with young learners from age of 7 up to 11 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I've changed my workplace a couple of times, but mostly I worked with them as well as adults. And I can say that young learners, and they have so fresh mind that their points of view and feelings are changed daily according to what they live. They still learn. And their character is being constructed day by day. So they are affected by everything happening around them and what the teacher says. So they just take care of how teacher looks and the way he or she dresses, the way she addresses to their students, and they can read between lines in a great way, better than adults. So what is not said, they can understand not only what is said, but also what is not said, and they can read people in a great way because they don't have the they are not very much prejudiced as much as the adults are. And so I just gave my examples from myself, like, okay, kids, I'm a teacher now, but I just started another bachelor's degree. And I always carried a book, an inspiring one, in my bag, and I was sharing them, and also let them have brainstorm on concepts.
Okay.
For example, the topic is science, and just let them to have the brainstorming. So, and I would like to emphasize to my colleagues, to the listeners here, that the best teachers, I totally agree that the best teachers teach from their heart, not from the textbooks. Because there is a unique flow within the classroom, dependent on the students' age and the level and the perception and the cultural stuff and their feelings and their backgrounds. So a teacher should be wise enough to catch the flow, the interaction, the needs of the students. And also, a good teacher should be really aware of the 21st century skills. We are not teaching in Middle Ages age now. So a teacher really should be, open with the critical thinking. You should provide a critical thinking classroom environment, a problem solving, a collaborative, and a digitally literate students. And they sometimes think the way that we cannot. So I just showed my students that I valued their opinions. And I also worked, it was last year, also worked with teenagers. Oh my God, they had great ideas, and they were capable of building new projects. And we discussed Nikola Tesla and some great scientists, and some futuristic conversations. And they developed, they were even software developers in some of the students classes. I had such students and developing their own software and applications. And really, the digital natives, what we can call a digital learners, just differ from the ones before. And a teacher really needs to listen to them. Okay, what's going on in their minds? Because they're not glasses to pour in. They have unique minds, they have some talents, and they have a great potential. And if you make them feel that they are precious, valuable, and an independent human being, you can create miracles. Actually, you can inspire them. Wow. And you can reach their heart. So a great teacher should reach the minds as well as hearts of their students. So I usually try to do this, though it's not very easy, but I try to do this.
Yeah, but it's well said, teacher, because as I was stating a while ago, you have a great story, a wonderful bio note in here. Your learnings are more than what we already achieved. But then when I heard you said that you don't just teach using your mind, but with your heart, it made me more comfortable to, because that's what I also do when it comes to teaching my students. Yeah, we could master what's inside the book. But when it comes to approaching your students, getting connection, it's not always that the book will help you get connected with your students. Yeah, you both know what does the textbook is all about. But when you are connected by heart, you share different ideas, wherein those two ideas can be combined to create a better one. You don't just argue because you are connected with emotion itself. That's why I was really astonished when I saw that you are also teaching, mind mapping, speed reading, and memory techniques. Because those three, it's not enough that the mind will always work with those three: mind mapping, speed reading, and memory technique. You also need to follow emotions. And I'm really amazed when you mentioned about, teaching with heart. That's why when you said it, I was smiling. Everything went back because I also have that kind of teacher who has that kind of mentality. She's really good, actually. She knows everything. I would not say everything, but she's academically inclined. But then those ideas are being set aside because she knows how to connect with her student through heart. So
actually, this is something that you gain with some experience. At the very beginning, you always follow the rules. When you start some journey, but as time goes by, as your experience, because experience means a lot. Okay, theoretical information ground is absolutely necessary, but what makes the knowledge valuable is just practicing it. So that means a lot. And by the way, the mind mapping involves both left and right brain, our emotional side, our logical side. So just the two different hemispheres, but they need to be united. So what mind map does is that kind of thing. You can be artistic and also logical at the same time. So that's why maybe I'm so much into mind mapping. And another example that connecting a child's heart means a lot is just an example that I've experienced. I had a class of fourth graders, and when I called one of my students to the board and letting her have a presentation, I do it a lot. I let them act like a teacher, okay, and giving them a project or letting them to pick up whatever they would like to, and suddenly they get the role of being a teacher. And I said to her, you would make a great teacher. And it was like 4 years later. It was no, more than 4 years, sorry. It was maybe 6 or 7 years later. She texted me. She found me and texted me saying, teacher, do you remember you would make a great teacher? No, I'm studying to be a teacher at university, and I love you so much because you encouraged me to do so. So one word means a lot. A teacher should be always aware of, okay, of course we are not perfect, and we sometimes may fail being so perfect, but we should really keep in mind that being teacher is a very special job because it is a kind of job that would just let a person to reach students, that young learners or young people's hearts. So there are not so many jobs providing this.
Well, yeah. Well, as they said, every job started with us teachers. How come there will be a doctor if no one will teach that doctor what to do?
Yes.
How come there will be an engineer if no one taught that engineer that you need to build? How come there will be a scientist if there will be no inspiring teacher who would, build that mind that you need to be curious, you need to know the reason for everything. So they said that we are the most noblest person out there.
Absolutely. yes, teacher Brian.
Without us, the world would be better. And I firmly believe that, the recovery of our, of the planet itself is because there are persons like the teacher who does not stop, okay, who does not just end up sitting on the side, doing nothing because the world is doing nothing as well. Just like Teacher Tuba here, she didn't stop. Okay, it only took her a week, and then she recovered, started to build herself, and right now she's already at the top. If you would allow me to say, teacher, you're already at the top.
Oh,
as I saw,
you.
your listeners,
such a kind person.
Teacher Tuba has been invited in several webinars, several congress, just to be specific, international congress on her field, okay? Field of teaching, education, linguistics, speed reading, and mind mapping. And teacher, because I already got what I needed, okay? Your most inspiring ideas. But still, okay, I haven't told you about this during the briefing session, but as my way of saying thank you, okay, I would ask you to give few message to our listeners, and also to your fellow countrymen there in currently you're in Turkey right now, am I right? Yeah. I would ask you to speak into your native language, because that's what I always ask my guests. I let them speak in their native language, talk to their
that's lovely.
Express themselves, though I could not understand it, okay? But they said that if your message is pure, okay, everything will connect. The language might not be understandable, but the message will be in there. So right now, Teacher Tuba, I'm giving you my podcast floor to give your message to your fellow countrymen, fellow teachers in your country, and also to your students. So, teacher, the floor is yours. Go ahead. You can speak into your...
Oh my God, that's totally a surprise, but actually I felt this would happen. Yeah, okay. Bu konuşmada söylediğim gibi en iyi öğretmenler kitaplardan değil, kalpleriyle öğretenlerdir. Yani öğrencilerimize müfredatın ötesinde, müfredatı yetiştirme telaşının ötesinde onların zihinlerine ve kalplerine ulaşmaya hedef edinelim. Teşekkür ederim. Okay.
It's quite short, but definitely I felt the sincerity. Perhaps.
Yeah, it has a deep message to contemplate on, so probably it doesn't have to be very long, you know.
I see. Well, definitely, in every country, the more shorter the message, the more sincere it is. Just like that's how
that's right.
And I'm very happy. Okay, because
the power of simplicity. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy too.
I felt
it's really nice
when you are giving it to your fellow countrymen, co-teachers, the students in there. And once again, Teacher Tuba, I would like to give my sincerest thank you for, sharing your wonderful story, okay? How you become a very inspiring educator. Let me give the mark right now that you are an inspiring educator. And I saw that deep down the teacher that I'm talking right now, there is this love for her profession, okay? Love for herself, but loving herself made her love the young minds, the future.
Great point.
Okay, that's
right.
That's it. You love yourself, Teacher Tuba, and that love turned out your love for the student.
Great point. Something that I would like to add is, if you don't love yourself, if you don't value yourself, you cannot do it for another being. So please believe in yourself. Try to know yourself. Okay, meet yourself. Embrace yourself with all your positive and negative sides. We are not here to be perfect, but to experience and to inspire others. So we need to share what we have, and it's a waste if we keep it for ourselves. So just don't let things within yourself. Share every nice thing and encourage other people. and value their ideas and personalities and see what miracles will happen. So trust yourself and believe in yourself, because if you shine, then you will inspire others. But if you lose your light, you will never inspire other people. Keep this in mind and try to be best of yourself so that you can encourage others and inspire them. Thank you.
What a lovely way to end our session. And with that, dear listeners, once again, Ms. Tuba Zilkan from Turkey. Thank you so much, teacher. I'm really honored to have you here in this episode of Inspiring Educators. And like I've said, this is not the first and last time that we're going to be talking. Perhaps when we get back again, it will be
Happily.
expertise in English language teaching,
Why
linguistics,
not?
speed reading, or even
Sure.
acting. So once again, Teacher Tuba, thank you so much. And I suppose it's already dinner time in your country, right? Is it?
Probably yes.
Yeah.
But before dinner time, I have the working time.
Oh my goodness. But then,
Yeah.
it's the Yuletide season. Allow me to greet you, teacher. Advance Merry Christmas. And I hope you and your family will enjoy this upcoming Christmas. And once again, thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much, Teacher Brian, for having this opportunity to share my insights. And I hope people, my colleagues, or whoever listening, will be inspired of this talk and start a new great year and fulfill themselves to be best version of themselves, making some progress and believing themselves even more. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
You will be an inspiration. So that's it. Dear listeners, you just listened to another inspiring educator. And like she shared a while ago, it's not just always our mind that matters, but also our heart. And as I would say, a combination of the two would create a better person who would serve our world. And with that, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Inspiring Educators. Once again, this is your host, Teacher Brian, up until our next episode. See you guys.